You're watching AI TV, still broadcasting from this year's AI Expo Africa, the 7th edition. We're meeting the various businesses, South African businesses, others from the continent and elsewhere in other parts of the world who've all come together to have conversations about artificial intelligence, development as well as innovation, all of them looking to see how they can better their offering to you and I, who ultimately are the customers at the end of the process. One of them is Werner Stucky. He is with Stubber Inc. And you do something. Werner, welcome to AI TV. Firstly, you were telling me that what you do basically is help us, or companies at least, to not have to do or spend too much time on the mundane tasks. What does that mean?
So I think there's knowledge work is one of the big unsolved problems in society. Like there's a lot of people getting like an invoice out of a system, emailing it to another human at another company, and they're doing copying and pasting back into another, like
printing, sending it to someone to sign.
This is mundane work, right? And we could never solve that sort of mundane work because it's very indeterministic. It's very random type of work. So you couldn't solve it with computers. And I think with the rise of large language models, we now have, for the first time ever, an AI system that can solve these indeterministic parts of business, this random messiness of business.
So you're saving businesses time, am I right to say time and money?
Time and money, and really actually I think the better effect is we're freeing up humans to do exciting and more rewarding type of tasks. If you look back like at the Industrial Revolution, for example, a lot of humans were doing mundane energy tasks, right? We were using our muscles, we were plowing the fields and that. And we've largely gotten rid of those type of tasks through electrification of our industry and that type of thing.
And what do you see, or what have you seen regarding the reaction from businesses to what you do? Is there great uptake, for instance?
Yeah, well, we're seeing great uptake. If you can build these things out fast, like a lot of times the plumbing and the architecture, like it's easy to do a demo, but like when you have to actually implement in a business, it gets a bit more tricky. So if your platform and your software supports fast iteration, you can get value really quickly. So we've went live with large customers like in a 2-week, 3-week span, which is impossible in the old way of doing things, because it's not programming anymore. We're not using computers to program. We literally have a text box in the software, and you're actually just giving instructions. Like you're actually just describing as you would to an employee, like sit down, speak to the customer, greet the customer, and that's the way that you now tell computers what to do.
And how do you do that then, given the nervousness often internally in businesses where things change, and sometimes the skills gap? So you have to teach sometimes people who are already in the system a new skill to be able to use what you are introducing, basically.
Yeah, so we're teaching sort of a more manager type people to how to articulate themselves to an AI, because they used to articulating themselves to people to say you should email this document to that person and you should input it into the financial system. So you're taking that language and you're now explaining it to an AI, and so being able to articulate yourself well is like a key skill. Like it's actually even becoming more relevant.
Are you saying machines are easier to deal with than people?
These large language models are actually surprisingly like very much like people. Like they make mistakes. They sometimes understand you wrong, because English is imprecise communication language. So it's very much like dealing with people when you're dealing with these large language models.
And what do you see as the future for the sort of work that you do?
Yeah, so I foresee I think that a lot of these mundane type of work inside businesses will get taken up by AI. I think in many businesses, I don't think it's going to have that much of an effect on jobs, because I think there's just so much left undone in most businesses. Like more, you can free your sales staff up, for example, from having to follow up on those emails, make out those quotes, like go into the quote system, like tediously making out these quotes. They can spend more time like just human to human interaction, going out for drinks with their customers, the meaningful stuff. And so I think from our goal of our company is to liberate humans from mundane work. I think that frees us up to do more cool work.
We spoke earlier about saving time and money. Do you find perceptions around the work that you do? Because a few years ago, I remember companies would automatically freak out and think, oh my goodness, it's going to require a lot of money just to introduce it. Yes, there might be benefits in the longer term, but people were nervous about the associated cost. Is that changing?
I think that is definitely changing. Like previously, AI like was only huge enterprises could really like have an AI team and like train their own models and do loss optimization and all of these type of things. Large language models have commoditized AI, I think, in my opinion, and it made it much more easier to get started, much more accessible to a wider range of enterprises. So given the right tools, it's really easy to use. You can get value extremely quickly. Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about Expo then. 7th year running. More people are here. There are more exhibitors, more speakers. I mean, 52 speakers and panels that we've had over the last 2 days. What stood out for you so far?
Yeah, so we've got a booth, and yeah, I was really surprised at the number of people. Definitely, we've had so many conversations over the last two days. So we had just live demos of our software, and just seeing people's faces light up when they just see what is possible, because a lot of people haven't realized how fast this space has moved in a short amount of time. So great to see like the faces light up when people see this happening. And I'm one of the speakers. I'm speaking later today.
Oh, okay.
Got a very controversial title.
What are you talking about?
My title of my speech is humans are not special.
Humans are not special, says Werner.
That's just a catch line. You should attend the talk if you want to get to.
If you want to hear more.
If you want to hear more.
But what have been then the frequently asked questions by the humans who've come to your stall?
So. Yeah, because AI is like such a big word at the moment, right? Like the bar for like sticking an AI sticker on your product is just so low at the moment. So a lot of what we have to do is articulate what are the different subsections of AI. When we're speaking of AI, we're speaking of large language models, generative AI, predictive AI.
It's not one thing.
It's such a big word at the moment, and so a lot of the conversations we have is like just steering people in. Like this is the part of AI that we're dealing with, right? So yeah, I think a lot of understanding and sort of subcategorization, and we need to figure out better words in this industry that can sort of like speak about the same thing and not just this big word like AI. So.
Werner, thank you so much for stopping by, and good luck with your talk later today. What time are you speaking?
At 14:45, track 4.
So we'll see you track 4 at 2:45 today. Thank you so much for being with us. Werner Stucky. Werner is with Stubber Inc., among the speakers at this year's Expo 2020. AI Expo Africa 2024.